Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having an incredible day. To start things off, Bitcoin's recent rally may be entering a new extension. The leading cryptocurrency is now trading above its upper Vera band limit. According to a new analysis from Bloomberg, the indicator identifies upward and downward trends and shows a breakout may be on the horizon. They said, and I do quote, Bitcoin's followed a similar trend since mid-February and has breached yearly highs at least once every month since then. The cryptocurrency broke above its upper band limit for the first time this year in early February, for instance, and reached a fresh yearly high shortly afterward, end quote. Industry insiders are also eyeing Bitcoin's latest move. Bullish sentiment affirms that the industry's ability to draw in major corporations and big tech players like Facebook and Fidelity is strengthening the market. This was said by Edward Moya, chief market strategist at Oanda Corp, a global leader in currency data and forex trading for retail and corporate clients. He said, Bitcoin looks like it could be coiling for a big breakout as institutional interest for blockchain technology shows no signs of slowing down. The bubble-like gains this time are driven on solid institutional interest, and while security is still a big risk, it appears Bitcoin has overcome many of its initial growing pains. For those who don't understand what they mean by security, they don't mean the security of the Bitcoin network. That is usually something that doesn't even enter their minds. They mean the actual security or custody of cryptocurrencies, which was a major topic during the course of 2018. The idea was that as cryptocurrencies, and more specifically Bitcoin, as we are talking about, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer network, i.e. I send money to you, you send money directly to me. There is no middleman. This worries governments, this worries large financial players, because should they type in the wrong numbers or type in the wrong letters or the money ends up going somewhere else, there's no way to be able to recoup it. Therefore, they like having a middleman, and the middleman is a custody solution or some type of a place where they can have their coins either off-grid, cold wallet, whatever you kind of want to call it, and that is what they mean while security is still high risk or a big risk, because they're waiting for other major institutions to kind of jump in and say, we'll also take care of the security aspect. But a lot of the other growing pains, which is pretty much people getting into the cryptocurrency market, or they mainly mean institutional interest, which means very rich people. They're here. So this is why we've also, it is believed, this is why we've seen the cryptocurrency market moving up. I have seen a relative lack of negativity as far as Bitcoin's price over the last couple of days. I think I've seen maybe one or two other people who still are a bit negative and they think that Bitcoin is going to go down. But I've noticed a welcomed trend on the amount of people out there who are analyzing, not a word, the cryptocurrency market, and thought that Bitcoin was going to go down. They have kind of all switched sides, at least for the moment. We even had that news article yesterday where the person was talking about that they don't think that another downtrend is or could be possible until sometime in November, according to their charts, what have you. But yeah, it's nice to see this bullish behavior is not just for crypto enthusiasts. It's now for the major players who are also trying to make money. They do use these charts. While these charts may not seem very important all the time, a lot of rich people do use these as indications as to when they should get into the market and exactly how much money they should put into the market and exactly what the indicators are showing. But yeah, here's the actual article from Bloomberg right here. It says Bitcoin breakout may be ahead as technicals show rally extension. This ties slightly into it. Where's the article? Right there. A Bitcoin whale triggered a flash crash in the price of Bitcoin on the leading crypto exchange known as Binance. The founder of Nuggets News, Alex Saunders, tracked the big sell order of 6,500 Bitcoin at $12,100 in real time on Twitter. The order, which was worth about $78.6 million, was quickly eaten away by bullish traders who bought the dip. Here's the actual tweet right there, and there's a little chart where you can see the little dip and then the price shooting back up. It says in moments the order dropped the price of Bitcoin on Binance from around 12,600 to around 12,100. The price quickly recovered and is now at 12,500 at the time of writing, which is even crazier because the price is actually around 12,800 the time that I looked at the price. So I hope that that person is doing well. And I mean, because it's a bit of a shock If you sell something at 2,100 and about 18 hours later the price goes up to around 12,800, and you realize you could have just made a couple extra $1 million if you just hadn't been so greedy and tried to sell at a certain price. Anyway, I've said this 10 trillion times before. The people who are, and that's crazy, the people who are so desperate to push down the price are people like this, not Mr. Saunders, but whoever did this little sell order right here, and his greed or trying to push the market down so desperately. To be fair, he did make millions of dollars, but he could have made an extra couple million if he had just not sold and kind of left the market where it was, because the market was going to go back up anyway. I find things like that very fascinating, especially like imagine, I mean, well, those coins are kind of gone now, so I was going to say he can kind of recuperate them, but never again at that price. Anyway, yeah, for those of you who are wondering why there may have been a dip across the Bitcoin market sometime yesterday, it was because of this guy, whoever he is, sold 6,500 Bitcoin. Now the price is back up already. So I'm assuming that we're going to get more of these sell-offs as time goes on, because people are I mean, I don't know how many people were actually looking at the charts in 2017 as well. There were tons of people, especially if you would listen, if you used to look at the XRP chart in 2017, there were moments, I think by the point that XRP was around 80 cents, people were had sell orders of like 600,000, 2.5 million XRP, and the price would dip by a couple of cents and it would immediately shoot back up because people were buying these little major sell-offs, what have you. And this is why I don't think I even had this in the video a couple of weeks ago. Somebody had a chart and it was showing the exact movements of coins from larger Bitcoin wallets that were flowing into smaller cryptocurrency wallets, and they were showing that the wallets that had less than I think a half of Bitcoin had gone up. Wallets that had less than half, or rather than a complete Bitcoin had gone up. I think wallets that had anywhere from 1 to 10 Bitcoin had also gone up. And it was estimated that the amount of large sellers who keep doing massive sell-offs like this, or we've seen before, people trying to sell off 12,000, the market goes down for about a good 36 and a half hours and then it's completely back up. What is believed is that what ends up happening is that as these major sell orders go through, other people who do have buy orders, maybe people who only have $50, $180, maybe $600 to put into the market, they end up buying up these little fragments of that Bitcoin, and it happens in mass because people are just trying to get in at a lower price, and people are trying to put in what money they can into the market, and that ends up causing it causes if you want to use this term, a redistribution of the wealth that was kind of there before, because why were you selling at $12,100? Anyway, let's move on. Next up, the founder of Ripple-backed XRPL Labs is clarifying when the beta version of the company's XRP-based banking app will be released. According to Bitsource, an initial version of the platform will launch in the next few months. They said coding, designing, testing, coding, repeat. Quality software takes time, but don't worry, beta in a few months. Release this year, and some pretty exciting things in the works at the meantime. What a time to be alive indeed. And apparently, I don't know if this is confirmed. The person was asking and said, what's new with Zoom? It says XUMM. I'm going to assume that is the name of the app, and I don't think it's pronounced Zum. That'd be too weird, so I'm going to say they're going to be calling it Zoom. We had news about this, I think, about a week ago as well. I think the news was, according to the other websites, that we were going to get this relatively soon, like sometime this summer. So this is why I assume the person was like, hey, what's going on? And that's what he's like. It's going to take a couple of months, but it will be released this year. Yeah, kind of cool that it's XRP based. See exactly how it's going to be going, or when it's going to be launched, and what effect this will have on the price or movement of XRP through the ecosystem. Here's some really you'll see it as I'm going through it. In a new interview, John Kim from the Litecoin Foundation explains why he believes the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market cap has an edge on the crypto competition. Kim told Blocks Live TV that leaders at the foundation and community as a whole are focused on mainstream adoption and building strategic relationships. He said, "We're not like any other coins. We're probably the most liquid coin outside of Bitcoin. We don't have to focus on anything else right now but adoption. So how can you beat a team that only has one goal in mind?" Kim says he's involved in a number of Litecoin projects, with new developments to be revealed in the coming weeks, maybe months. Oh, you can't say that. You can't say weeks and it's like 2 weeks away and then months and you're like, maybe 9 months away. In addition to various projects that are under wraps, the recent Litecoin integration of Spedin, an app that makes it easier to store, manage and spend Litecoin and several other digital assets, exposes millions of shoppers at thousands of stores across the US to cryptocurrency as a payment option. Kim says the partnership is well positioned to power mainstream adoption because the developers have spent time addressing and solving critical issues that have prevented everyday people from using crypto, mainly ease of use. According to Kim, the world does not need more information. They need a demonstration. A nice little Dr. Seuss right there. Where was the other? What was that? Where we go? Traveling throughout Asia. There we go. Through the 23rd of July. Kim says his Ignite the Fire initiative is a meet and greet tour designed to interact with people to generate more interest in using Litecoin. His tour, backed by cryptocurrency exchange OKEX and the digital asset platform Travala, among the company, is designed to make Litecoin a household name. Kind of cool. I was just complaining about this about 2 or 3 days ago. While other people sometimes have a negative stance on Litecoin, sometimes myself included, I would like to see Litecoin pushing itself further into the crypto sphere as a viable option for other people to be able to make payments or for things to be based off of, or even just if we ended up having more something correlated to the price of Litecoin. We don't hear as often that there's a bond or some type of a fund or some type of an anything that is tied to the price of Litecoin. So I do hope that they are also moving towards this as well. But it's nice to hear that someone within the Litecoin Foundation is sticking their neck out and they're like, hey, we're still the best. We're still awesome. We're trying to just make sure that we have a large amount of adoption. This ties almost seamlessly close to the next topic of discussion that we have right here. Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, thinks prospective crypto investors should prep themselves for risk. And just a little bit of a backdrop, Charlie Lee is typically a lot more cautious and does not see the world through crypto rose-colored glasses as many other people do. Typically, Charlie Lee in the past, when everyone else is having a good time, is usually the person sitting in the corner worrying everyone about that they have to go to work tomorrow. Think of it that way. In an interview on Crypto Love, amazing name, Lee discusses the warnings he gave to investors in late 2017 while Litecoin's value was skyrocketing. He said, crypto's really risky. I've seen many bear markets or crashes that are 90% down. So at the time when it was $200, he means Litecoin, I said it can drop to $20 and don't be surprised if it does. And what happens is when the price does crash, it shakes off all the weak hands. Everyone who brought in at $200 or higher will sell at $20 and they're losing 90% of their portfolio. So my point was that if you can't withstand a 90% drop, then don't buy in because it's too risky for you. End quote. Litecoin did almost drop to $20 by December 2018, although it is now trading above $123. Lee says he thinks Litecoin hopefully bottomed out already. He also discusses the likely impact of the upcoming Litecoin halving, which is less than a month away. He said, and I do quote, the halving is always kind of a shock to the system. When the mining rewards get cut in halving, or half, some miners will not be profitable and they will shut off their machines. If a big percentage does that, the block will go down for some time. For Litecoin, it's 3.5 days before the next change, so possibly like 7 days of slower blocks, and then after that, the difficulty will readjust and everything will be fine. He also said, in terms of the price, the halving should be priced in because everyone knows about it since the beginning. So he thinks that the price movements for Litecoin are done, or rather that the event that's happening in about 28 days now has already been priced in. He said, but the thing is, people kind of expect the price to go up. So a lot of people are buying in because they expect the price to go up. And that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So because they're buying in, the price actually does go up. Very wise words. I appreciate his timidity, his level-headedness. Yes, I appreciate Charlie Lee's level-headedness. Maybe, and who knows, in 10 years, maybe he will be one of the oracles of crypto as he kept on calling all of these movements or telling people to be more level-headed. I kind of like this guy's words a bit more. I don't think I've ever really heard from John Kim from the Litecoin Foundation, but I like hearing more bullish news or, hey, we're going to do it, or we're going to be awesome because we're already incredible. Maybe I just grew up wrong. Who knows? Maybe I just like hearing the wrong things, but I like hearing more optimistic things. That's not to say that Charlie's being pessimistic, but we had a news article yesterday. There are an enormous amount of people who think that typically 1 month before a halving for Litecoin that the price does a 4x. So a lot of people were probably, and probably still are, anticipating some type of a 4x in price from where Litecoin is right now, just as we move an inch closer to the actual halving. Who knows what's going to happen, but Charlie Lee thinks it's already been priced in. Yeah, let's move on. There we go. To kind of finish things off, digital asset management fund known as Grayscale Investments Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC, is up almost 300% on the year. Data from Morningstar via the Wall Street Journal revealed, as of the 9th of July, the investment instrument is yielding 296% appreciation year to date, a stratospheric increase as compared with mainstream investments reflected in the S&P 500 of around 18.7%, and global Dow, global Dow 12.7% over the same time period. So over the same year, the Dow did 12.9, S&P did 18.7, and this investment trust alone did 296%. Here's a little chart right here. As of the end of June, a Wall Street Journal report had indicated that the fund's dizzying returns had secured its spot as the best performing fund in the market. The trust purchases Bitcoin directly and trades its shares on the over-the-counter exchange OTCQX. My gosh, what happened there? As the report noted at the time. Why did I say OTE? Wall Street Journal further underscored the fact that the fund's meteoric performance is not unprecedented. During Bitcoin's historic winter bull run of 2017, the GBTC reportedly reflected a 1,391% appreciation over the course of the year to date. Grayscale, for those who do not know or maybe relatively new here, is the investment trust fund thing that I think they own or are securing over 1%, or they currently are in possession of over 1% of all the Bitcoin in the world. That's the news that we had about 8-9 months ago, so one can only assume that they are probably inching rapidly towards 2% of all the Bitcoin in the world. Absolutely incredible. I don't work for Grayscale. I don't even know anybody in Grayscale personally, but I think it's absolutely incredible what they're doing. When I talk about the future of the cryptocurrency market, when I talk about the future of Bitcoin and where all of this is going, you have major companies who are making major returns, who are getting the attention of major news outlets and other major money people, who are then putting their money into this fund, which is only continuing to rise as they get more money to buy up more Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies around there. Pay attention to where all of this is going. This is not going to fall flat on its face anytime soon, logically, one can see. And this is why I believe it is important to be an early adopter in the cryptocurrency space, because these are the numbers that we're making right now. Just imagine where we'll be in 5 years and imagine where we'll be in 10 years. And I think things like that are important to pay attention to, especially when they're making major gains. You also want to be making as much money. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Mechanic, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Arthur Yaku, Minting Coins, Jim Gardner, Jeremy the Photographer, Tom Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day. Paxis, Vlad the Impaler, Cody, RF Dusty, Richie Rich the Third, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Clara T. Snowden, Jeffrey Ramsey, Amy Starsheen, Yasha Harari, Rai, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Carl Birchenoff, Mohair Maroney, Crypto Joe, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, L. Doug, Brady Niels, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Adobo, My Keto Kitchen, Triple M and J, Janae Francis, Master Ventures in Thailand, and Professor Wally from Gun Bot University. Thank you all an incredible amount for your support at the moment. The crypto market's kind of all over the place. For those of you who are not looking at the screen or maybe at work, don't let your boss know that you are listening to my videos. Bitcoin is currently at $12,899. It is a dollar down from $12,000, up a couple dollars down from $12,900. It's fairly probable that we may hit $13,000 again today. This is kind of, I think the new resistance number is like, I think 13,200 or somewhere along those lines. And if we end up passing that, I think that is a good indication that we could probably hit 14,000 relatively soon. Bitcoin, amongst the top 10 coins, is the only coin in green right now. Every other coin, I mean, they're not like, you know, really, really low down. Ether's down 1.5%, XRP's down 1.26%, Bcash 1.8, Litecoin 1.9, EOS 2.2. You get the trend. Satoshi-wise, they are definitely not doing well. Bitcoin is siphoning off all the money from the other coins. It is definitely flowing upwards. A lot of other coins are also in the red. Leo is up for some reason. I think because of their buy burn back thing that they have going. Tezos is up. Yay. Bitcoin. Yeah, these are people usually ask me about some of the trends that end up happening in the market, or why is this happening? Where is this going? What news do we have on this? A lot of it doesn't make sense. Don't assume that the market makes sense. And until we have a multi-billion dollar anything within the cryptocurrency space, volume, daily trading, anything, it won't make a lot of sense. And this is why things like Bitcoin Gold are currently up by 6.23%. Sometimes the market just doesn't make sense. No other coin should really. Egretia, whatever that is currently, yeah, there we go. Somebody pumped the price and now it's going back down. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. Always a very ridiculous time in the cryptocurrency space. Some of the news that we have is always just kind of out there. Yes, please invest accordingly. Know where you are investing. Make sure that you are doing at least some research into where your money is going. I know it may be a bit of a drag, or you may not have all the time in the world, but take about 5 minutes out of your day just to make sure that your money is going into the right place and into the right coins, if you know what I'm saying. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See